I don't know. I mean, yeah, do I feel like we should have been the 1 seed? Yeah, but LSU's had an unbelievable season, so I think, what Joe's done and what that team has done, they've done a great job. What Clemson's done, I can see that argument as well. I mean, they're defending national champs and they haven't lost a game since and played, great football. So at the end of the day, you got to beat the best to go win the national championship, and certainly Clemson is that. And so what matters at the end of the year is, who's won, not right now. And so we've got a big challenge ahead of us as we start to prepare for Clemson.
You do think you deserve one now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm competitive, so sure.
Front row right, Tim?
Did you think, as you look back on it, that things were kind of set up for it to end up like it did, though, with them playing the number 4 team yesterday and you guys playing number 8?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, at this point, I've kind of moved on,
Yeah.
and now it's on to Clemson. So, I get it. It's not an easy decision, so nothing but respect for the committee. I know they have our decision to make. So I thought we made our case, but it's time to move on.
A 3-week break before you play again, not a break, you're going to be practicing, but is it a chance to exhale a little bit? I mean, just what's your sense of what y'all have accomplished over these last 3 weeks especially?
Yeah, I told them, told the team how proud I was of what they did at halftime because, I don't know, I know some people understand it, but I don't think everybody understands, at halftime, you get those games, 3 emotional games in a row, and then, we're kind of got our backs up against the wall, down 2 scores at halftime. And it took toughness and it took love in that locker room for us to come out the way we did in the third quarter. That was probably the coolest quarter of football I've ever been a part of. The combination of Buckeye Nation just taking over that stadium, and then the way our offense and defense were in a frenzy. And there were players coming off the field with so much emotion that there was actually tears coming out of their eyes. It was one of the coolest experiences I've been a part of. And then to celebrate with that team after coming back like that was the best game we've had all year because of that. And we found out a lot about ourselves.
Second row right, Tony?
Brian, the fake punt call yesterday, why was that the right call? What did you like about it?
Because it worked. If it didn't work, it wasn't a good call. I just felt like we needed a spark. Matt Barnes had, come up to me earlier in the week and said, we might have something here, kind of showed why on film, and thought it was well thought out. And at that point, we need a little something. And although it didn't turn into points, I thought it gave us a little jolt in that game. And also the feeling that, hey, listen, I know we're in a big stage, but we're going to be aggressive, and you can't be afraid to be bold. Told the guys to be bold in that game, and that was an example of it.
Did you have Drew working on the 1-inch drill at all during practice?
Not 1 inch, but he's good. We actually had him throw about a year ago in preseason when we weren't sure, when we had chugs coming in, we were short on numbers. He was taking snaps for us, and he's played quarterback in his career, so we knew he could throw it. And plus, that stage isn't too big for Drew, so to make that throw, that wasn't an easy one, by the way. It wasn't wide open like we thought it would be. So it was well executed.
Front row right, Bill?
Yeah, how much have you seen of Clemson this year, and what are your impressions of them if you have one?
No, I got, I mean, the impression is that, they're the defending champs, and they haven't lost since, and they have a veteran quarterback now who's played a lot of football and has played really good. Etienne is one of the best backs in the country. T. Higgins, and some of the wideouts they have are some of the best in the country. And then what they do on defense and what Brent Venables has done year in and year out, they're the best defense in the country. If you look over the last 5 to 10 years, you can make a case that they are the best. And they change up looks. They're aggressive. He's aggressive, and they're very, very talented.
Dabo has made a point all year of kind of playing the we're overlooked card. Does being number 2 enable you to kind of play that card too? Will you?
I mean, at this point, I think it's kind of it's minuscule at this point. We're all playing for the championship. There's 4 of us, and we all got to play each other. So mix us up in a bag and let's go play.
Second row left, Bill?
Ryan, whether it be in the off season or spring or whatever, was you're just trying to think about offense. Do you ever just look around college football at defenses, even if you're not going to be playing them? And if you do, does Clemson show up on that list when you look at them? And then I know you just touched on it there, but
yeah,
it seems like that'd be like maybe the first one you'd want to look at because they've been so good the last few years.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of look at offenses a little bit just to get different ideas of what people are doing. But yeah, I've watched Clemson this year and just watched what Coach Venables has done, and because he's pretty innovative. He changes up the different looks. He's aggressive. He comes at you, and so yeah, it definitely looked at him, and he does a great job, and those kids play hard for him. So we got to do a great job of preparation.
And then different topic. What is the status of Brendan White, who was at the game yesterday?
Yeah, he wasn't available for personal reasons.
Right next door, Ari?
Hey Ryan, when did you get those college football playoff shoes made?
Kevin Reese made those 6 weeks ago. He told me and he gave them to me today.
So did you know 6 weeks ago that you had them?
No, I didn't. He just gave them to me today. So.
What is your love of Air Maxes and what's it like to be able to break those things out? Those probably be what, $1,000 on like a secondary website?
I don't know. Yeah, I've always liked those original Air Maxes, and then Kevin Reese started, bringing out different pairs, and the guys on the team really liked them. They kind of got fired up with the different colors, and so we wear them on game day, and yeah, I mean, I like the different styles and different colors. It's kind of a good look.
All kidding aside, though, sorry, Jerry, for the.
We gotta go. Let's go.
When you put on it's not about the shoes, but like when you get a gift like that, does it become real to you? Like, has it really sunk in yet of like you've made it and like what's really ahead right now?
Yeah, well, we're here now, like you said. Yeah, I mean, we're in it right now. We're in the Final Four, and we said it was March Madness a few weeks ago, and we're in March Madness. We won those 3 games to get to the Final Four, and now we get to go play for the whole thing.
Third row left. Dan?
Ryan, obviously it just preceded your time here, but the 2016 game against Clemson, I know you talked before about making sure the players understand the history. Do you think that's something that you will use as a motivating factor for his team?
I think we'll use it as a reference point, but that's 2 very different teams. And so, yeah, I mean, I wasn't here, and a lot of guys weren't here, but we'll definitely use it as a reference point, but I don't think it's very relevant here.
Front row right. Austin?
Ryan, you said you got to beat 2 teams no matter what, but when you, as a coach and motivator, see that number pop up and it's lower than where you were before, do you think I can use that? Or I just wonder how the brain works when that new information is processed for you.
Yeah, again, try not to get too far into that. I know we're just proud of what our guys have done, and we've done everything we can up to this point, and now it's time to go play Clemson. So I think at this point you can't look back on those kind of things, and we can go back and forth about it. I know those guys had a hard decision to make. They made it, and we got to move on. But we can't worry about that. Again, if we want to go win the whole thing, we have to be able to play everybody, and so now we get a chance to go play Clemson.
Front row middle. Joey?
Obviously, probably most teams could use a break this time of year. Fact you closed the season with like 3 top 15 teams. How badly do you think your team needs some rest? Especially
Yeah,
after
I think
last
it's
night?
really important. Yeah, and physically, I actually we're okay physically to be honest. But I think emotionally and mentally, we need a little break here. We need to get away. So we'll do a little lifting, a little running here. But what it takes to go win a game like that after the couple games we had leading up to it, it's just not easy to do. I mean, it was truly March Madness. It was like playoff football, and so now they needed some time away just to kind of catch their breath and get re-energized. But we got to do a good job of getting our rest and getting healthy this week.
I know obviously you're coming off the emotional high of Michigan, and you haven't really probably dived into much film from last night. But Wisconsin's front, it was tough. Really, is that just them? You guys coming off the high of Michigan, or were they doing stuff schematically that was tough?
Yeah, no, they're a good front, and they're one of the best rushing defenses in the country for a reason. Coach Leonard does a great job. They have a really good staff there. They have a good plan. One of the things that was tough for us is that we were not going to run that quarterback, and we didn't talk about much of that going into the game, but we weren't. And so, with what we've done this year, that was fighting a little bit with one hand behind our back, but it is what it is, and we had to handle it. And I thought as the game went on and we started to wear them down a little bit, it became better, and the guys played better. But we had 230 something yards of offense in the first half. We just had some negative plays, the sacks, we fumbled in the red zone, and so we just weren't very clean. But we were still moving the ball just fine. And we had a lot of offense, just could have been cleaner in some of the situations.
Front row left. Nathan?
Sorry. Oh crap.
I'll go.
Come back to me. Sorry.
Doug?
Sorry.
Talking about the rest, it's only a 21-day window before you guys play again. Just
Right.
logistically, will this be that much different than like a bye week in the middle of the season, or how will you handle it?
The only thing that's different is that we're going to let them go home for a couple days. So we'll have a game week preparation. We'll let them go home for a few days, and then we'll meet them at the bowl site, and then we'll redo that game week. So that'll be the plan. But this is very unique. Like you said, it's only 3 weeks. So we'll kind of treat the first one like a bye week, like you said. The second one will be a typical game week. We'll let them go home for a few days, and then we'll have the game week. So that'll be the plan. I think it's the best move, and I think we'll have a fresh ready to roll.
And you were asked about like the punt and the spark and that kind of thing. You've talked a lot late in the year, talent equated games.
Yep.
This is going to be more equated than anything.
Right.
Do you get more aggressive? Do you push it? Do you look for a spark, or do you have to rein it in because maybe if you're playing a really, really great team, if you take a risk and it misses, maybe it really kills you. How does your thinking change at all against great teams?
Well, I think you just got to do a good job schematically. You know, if it makes sense and you think you can do something here and there, then you do it. But it has to be a calculated risk, and it's all about the schematics at this point. Because, like you said, talent's equated. Both teams are going to play really, really hard. Who executes better? Who's more prepared? And you know, who has the right game plan is going to win the game.
And final questions, fourth row left, Patrick.
Brian, you mentioned that defending national champions, obviously a lot of those guys have been through the playoff, coaches, players. You guys don't have a ton of that. How do you kind of compensate for that lack of experience that they clearly have?
Well, I mean, I don't think the game hasn't changed. You know, it's just being ready for that moment. And I thought we showed something in the second half that we could overcome a game and just impose our will on teams. And we have to carry that over into this game and show that we can do that and have enough confidence to do that against a team like Clemson. But really, you know, our guys see ourselves as being the best in the country. So the moment won't be too big for our guys. It's just a matter of keeping our emotions in check and just